How does it go? So, a year ago, Sherilyn came down, and it was a really good timing for me because I was almost ready to leave Aranga. You're Sherilyn, right? Oh, yeah, I've met her before.
Nice to meet you, Sherilyn.
Nice
Sunflower.
to meet you. Yeah, Sherilyn Sunflower. And you've been living in a different house, but you come here a lot to the lodge.
Yeah.
This is the lodge. And we're going to look at some of the stuff you brought down.
Yes.
Because you're very gifty. You're very gift-oriented.
Yeah.
And you're also very thrifty. You like to go to thrift stores.
Gifty and thrifty. And I was here, is it 2 years ago now or 3 years ago now?
No, it's three, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was 3 winters ago I came down, and I also brought gifts that I wanted to use here. Right?
Well, yes. Being self-serving is still compatible with giftiness.
Absolutely.
So right now we're in the kitchen of the lodge. This is the biggest house here. We got great hair there.
And this is where I've been cooking all of our meals.
Right. And that's one of the main gifts you actually give me while you're here is that I've been eating awesome vegan food, except for the eggs.
And the chicken that we buy from town. But we haven't been cooking meat here, just eggs.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's take a look in the pantry.
Pantry. So it's kind of hard because all the boxes are unpacked, and so all the things are kind of all over the place. So we'll try to remember what I brought, and
right. And you've got syrups and.
Well, and now I'm leaving. Right. I was going to come for 1 to 3 months, and now it's been a year, and so I've made a bunch of like medicines and stuff. I made this hawthorn syrup. Which is totally cool. It's a little bit messy because I have this is what I'm taking home. This is what I'm leaving here. Kind of stuff.
Oh, you have fancy salted mixed nuts.
Fancy salted mixed
nuts. Those look
nuts.
Great.
I brought these down.
Oh, yeah. See, I knew from the packaging when she first handed that to me, I knew what that was because I was, a kid who likes funny things.
But you still opened it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, the hawthorn's great. The hawthorn trees are actually here. And I actually did not understand that hawthorns are as exciting as they were. We just used them to graft onto quite a bit. And we grafted like pears and membrillo, which is in English something. What is it?
Membrillo?
Quince. Uh-huh. It's quince, okay. Anyway, but the cool thing is it's actually a better tree than I even knew. And then you've got all sorts of stuff.
Well, I brought a bunch of like food products for me. I'm gluten-free, and I knew that there wasn't going to be a lot of gluten-free stuff. So I brought like all kinds, brown rice flour, teff flour. This shelf is all stuff I brought. And actually, a lot of it's gone because
we used it up.
It.
Yeah,
We've used
after
it up.
a year.
So I brought maca. That's not gone. Spirulina powder. But this was all for my own consumption, not necessarily to share. This is another hawthorn. This is a cinnamon tincture that I made. Raisins. So I brought sorghum flour, teff flour. There's a blend, brown rice flour, tapioca, some spices. I brought a bunch of jams that we've eaten already. Spices, teas, kudzu. Black garlic was sent to me. I got a package from Oregon.
Yeah, what the heck is black garlic? It was really tasty. It's
really, really tasty. Yeah, so I will saute one of these up. It's this garlic, and if you peel it, and it's just one. It's like one clove, not a whole bunch of cloves in a head, and it's black and kind of squishy. And I mince it up and will stir fry it in olive oil.
I wonder if that's like something you grow, or if there's a process.
It's a process.
That you like ferment it in some weird way or something.
Yeah, something. It's a chemical thing.
Okay.
So teas. This is actually a tea from Aranga that I got here for hormonal balancing. So that's from Aranga. This is from our favorite store, Florida Sazon, coconut oil in Pátzcuaro. We went to Aranga. Yeah, I'm sorry. Florida Sazon is in Aranga. Can't think of their names right now. We got a bunch of vinegars in Pátzcuaro, at Don Chucho's to make mustard and test mustard recipes because
Right.
you like
She
mustard.
made mustard. It was very good.
Yep, and way cheaper. I also have shiitake mushrooms that are dehydrated that we've used both in meals, and I've powdered them for popcorn. I also brought this. It's a juicer, smaller than the one that you have, but super easy to use
So
and
for
easier
like
to clean.
Limes or something?
Yeah, oranges, limes, whatever.
Okay.
I brought this really super cool. This was one of my favorite things because the first year I came, we made kimchi, and it took forever to chop up all the vegetables.
Right.
And you don't use a lot of machines with electricity here because you're on solar. So this is a machine that attaches to a table or whatever, countertop. And it's a food processor.
So it's a manual food processor
manual
instead
food
of using
processor.
electricity. I love that.
And there's different blades depending on, what you're doing.
Right, and it looks a little bit less scary than a mandolin because I had
Oh,
a
yeah.
mandolin, but
Yeah.
the mandolin I have, and it's not an instrument, like not a musical instrument. It's a thing that just is designed to make you afraid that you're going to chop your fingers off. So that looks way better to me.
So we made a bunch of kimchi with that, and it's quick to clean, quick to set up, and
Love
quick
it.
to
Love
grate
it.
whatever you're grating.
That's great.
So this is all stuff we've got at market. Oh, I brought a bunch of metal thermoses. You were saying that glass thermoses aren't so great when
Right.
you have guests here because they break. So I brought, I think, 3 Nissan. There's one down in the casita now, and there's one up in the view for you. And I think there's 2 here. And also,
And almost all these things were bought at thrift stores.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a crazy thrifter, and this is I think I brought 2 of these, a big one and a little one. It's a punch pot, stainless steel,
Oh, cool.
and often these are glass. You have a glass one here, but again, that's another thing that breaks and you can't replace it.
Yeah, I want things made out of metal. I like tough things.
Oops. I also, well, talking about metal, this is a little like just food container that's made out of metal, like a lunchbox thing.
There's been candy in that before that she made.
Yeah, homemade chocolates go in there. This is also a metal container. It's Christmas, which is funny, but I just really like it because it's a
It's very convenient.
plastic lid metal container. You've gotten a lot of food delivered in that.
I have.
I brought a bunch of reusable coffee cups.
Mm-hmm.
At least 2 are in here. I think there might be some up in the view too. And then this one was my favorite reusable coffee cup, but the lid broke while I was here. Still a good metal cup, but it doesn't have a lid any longer. Jars like crazy, like all the stuff, all the flowers and things that came in jars. I'm going to leave the jars here for you because they're super handy for storage of food, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a whole bunch of, I think you had a couple, but I brought a bunch more half
great.
gallons. Brought a, we never did make it. I was going to make a cheesecake for you because you said that was your favorite dessert. But there's a cheesecake pan here if anybody wants to come and make Brian cheesecake. There were multiple issues, but the oven temperature is really important on cheesecake.
Right. It's a wood-fired oven, so. But I'm working on getting better solar stuff, and so we'll see about that.
Little metal cup.
That's very cute.
Very cute. I like metal because it doesn't break and it lasts forever. I also brought, a bunch of utensils. With this cup, I thought was really cute. It's metal. Fiesta like there's no mañana is what it says. I don't think you've even seen that.
Party like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of stuff for the first time because I'm living in a whole different building, and walking around has been difficult. And so this is kind of interesting. It's like you're arriving and showing me stuff, except you're about
Right.
to leave.
Right.
So.
This is a cherry pitter
Oh, that's very cute.
because you want cherries here.
I want Bing cherries.
want
We're going
Bing
to graft
cherries.
them on stuff.
Grater.
Yep.
And this is a funny, strange peeler.
Peeler.
I brought 2 peelers. This is a odd one that does interesting shapes. And then I brought a regular one as well. I think that's most of what's in this area.
Well, that's pretty cool.
A lot of you
and then you
had.
brought down donations from Rose. You brought down donations to the Labyrinth.
So this pan came from your friend Rose, and luckily this lid fits it.
And she's up in Portland area, Oregon somewhere.
Yeah, she's in Oregon. I think we met in Salem.
So many people after the accident have helped me so much. And I mean, I have a walker that I got that I'm not currently using, and I'm so happy not to use it. And walking sticks and all kinds of stuff. And so Sherilyn also was the delivery mechanism for a whole bunch of that stuff. And so people loaded her up with gifts for me. And those.
Oh, and sheets. She sent sheets down.
Oh yeah.
Cotton sheets, because it's hard to get cotton sheets here.
Yeah.
And like backpack and some first aid stuff.
Yep. Dave Perlman sent stuff.
Yep.
So that stuff really kept me going, and in the most difficult time of my life, which I hope is not to come. I hope this was the end of that, and I'm going to try really hard to live up to the expectations that people have of me, which I've created myself. But I'm not done yet, and thank you for keeping me alive and supporting me in these ways. So,
yeah.
And thank you.
Yep. And there's more. There's a lot of what is this called? Ceramic covered metal.
Oh, enamel. Yeah, enamel.
There's a lot of enamel cooking stuff here, and I prefer stainless steel.
Yeah.
So I brought a couple copper bottom stainless steel pots. I brought a small stock pot that's metal, which is what we go and get our chickens in.
Yep.
So I brought a couple sizes of those.
Oh, very cool.
I brought 3 other cast iron pans, small, medium, and large.
Yeah, cast iron is great.
Oh, I brought this really cool cast iron muffin tin that we actually made muffins in the oven in.
Oh my God, it's heavy.
Yeah.
This is super heavy. Look at
and
that.
they're so great for I just love baking in cast iron.
Lift weights with them.
And then I also brought, we never use this, but I figure when you have more people here, it'll be useful. It's a cast iron skillet.
Oh yeah, that looks great.
And it has the meat side and the non-meat
Right.
side.
I could stick that on the wood-fired oven.
Exactly. You can put it outside on the kamal. I brought a bunch of metal straws.
Right. Because we don't want plastic straws.
Because we were going into town and getting juices before coronavirus hit.
Right.
And I brought metal cups, 16-ounce cups.
Yep.
That these work perfectly in. And there's I don't know, half dozen of those. I brought other utensils. I brought a set of measuring cups because they weren't here. I brought a set of measuring spoons because they weren't here. Egg beater, so you can do blender-like stuff without electricity.
Beat the eggs.
A bunch of stainless steel stuff. I like stainless steel a lot.
Yeah.
So this is an apple core. Just tons of stuff, kitchen stuff. Oh,
it's actually really hard to find basic stuff here sometimes, and the basic stuff you find often has very low quality.
Yes.
And so up in the States, the amount of waste that they have in thrift stores where people just toss their stuff over there, it's so cheap, and then so for you to bring it down has been amazingly helpful.
And it was cheap
in
the States because it's mostly thrift store stuff.
Yep.
I even brought a cake pan that doesn't need to be used for a cake, but it's to keep food in that mice won't get into.
Right, because I have a mouse problem currently.
Yeah.
And that's fancy looking. Oh my God. See, you could walk around with that under your hand and be like a cool waiter and stuff.
It locks, right?
Oh wow.
So whether it's cake or you have, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. I've done fruit in here.
She's been here a year, and this is the first time I'm seeing this stuff.
Yeah.
Yep, and you brought down books, which is always nice.
Yeah, some of these are going back with me.
Okay, that's
this
fine.
One's going home with me.
Great.
But yeah, some cookbook type
How
stuff.
can it be gluten-free cookbook? See, I like gluten.
How can it be gluten-free? Volume 2 has the best bread recipe for gluten-free people in the world. Tough bread. No starch with like cornstarch and
Cool.
crap. Oh, I brought backpacks.
Oh, yeah. You know, it may be that
I
I can either lend these out to people who come here, or this one would be great to give away.
Sure.
Is like Claudia too old for
It's
that?
cute. I have no idea.
I think it's cute.
You can do whatever you like.
Yeah, I got lots of friends down here, and whenever I can, I want to give them stuff. Not as much as this lady does, but.
And I've given a ton of wraps away.
Yeah,
which
you have.
Which is a great gift.
You have.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are food wraps that you put on jars and things. They're made out of cotton with coconut oil a little bit, pine resin. They're flexible and they replace plastic. And so beeswax, thank you. And she's given those to multiple people. That's been just really cool. And people use them. They've commented later that they actually are using them, which is great. So.
Do you want to go to the next room or do a different video in the next room?
Sure. Let's just wander over there, you know.
Okay.
A little tour of the lodge almost. There's
the other coffee thing. Yeah. I did bring some sheets too. I brought a bunch of books. I'm really into bringing kids' books. I can find them both in Spanish and English at thrift stores.
Yeah.
And so I brought a bunch of books down.
But part of this video is like ideas also of what to donate to the Bosque.
Sure.
Because these books, I'm not going to keep these books. These are going to go to kids.
Yeah.
And you've already given some to kids directly.
Yeah. Well, I specifically brought them for kids that I had met in my first trip down.
Right. And I grew up with books. My parents were great about that. And I think it makes for smarter, more fulfilled people.
Absolutely. Even Latin American short stories.
Ooh.
I thought that needed to be at the Bosque.
I might want to read that one.
Yeah. And then other just basic books. I know when I was here the first year, I probably read 20 novels or something. Like, you have a lot of books here.
I do.
But I had read a lot of them, so I wanted to bring other books that I could read. Yeah. And then for you specifically, these are all blank books from the Nothing book over.
Okay.
This one actually is really cool, and I brought you special pens because it's black.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so you need the special gel pens.
Right.
For it.
I like that quite a bit. Also, I'm trying to get back into art because I've taken a big break on art. And one of the problems I have is with whiteness.
Inspiration? Oh, whiteness. Oh, see?
Because I want to remove the whiteness to know that I've finished the artwork. And this one starts out as black.
Starts out as black. There's no white.
Yeah.
And you can add purple or silver to the black.
I love it.
And then the rest of these are all just different. You said that they were too nice, like you weren't going to write in them, but...
I think for special purposes, especially like if I have a particular train of thought,
right,
that it might be really useful to have the Nothing book. Want to make something out of it? That's funny.
All thrift stores.
All thrift stores. You see, thrift stores, I used to buy all my clothes at thrift stores in Seattle. It was great, and I missed them. I do miss them.
Oh, and then a bunch of, games and stuff. Like, this is full of, toys.
Oh, is this the monkey thing?
Yeah, this is,
I played that when I was a kid.
The monkey. There's marbles. There's bouncy balls. There's things that you
hacky
shoot.
Sack, it looks like.
The hacky sack.
Oh
this is one of those. You had Japanese exchange students. Did they bring you one of these? They called it a Japanese yo-yo.
They did not.
Do you know
but
how
I
to
have
use
had
it?
a couple nice Japanese people here, yeah. But this is very much like a Mexican thing where you flip it up and catch it.
Yeah, but a little bit different technique. I've seen
really?
someone up in Oregon that's Mexican that has one of those at his restaurant, and he'll do it for you. This one, a little different technique.
Okay,
but yeah,
cool.
I'll show it to you.
Well, the great thing about this place is it's intercultural, and so people come here and they get exposed to different things, and so this is something that they'll kind of recognize, and then it'll be different.
Right.
So that's perfect.
Exactly. Little acrylic paint sets.
Okay. Wow.
And then I think this whole bag is puzzles.
Oh, awesome.
Like the metal kind of puzzles where
Oh,
you have to remove
right.
something. Or
Right.
the wooden puzzles that you have to, like, you make it into a cube.
Right.
You know?
I know a guy who's really good at those. It's Gato. And he can just undo them and do them back real quick.
This one's an elephant.
Cool.
But there's a lot of different metal ones.
Oh, that one's great.
Yeah.
This is also, I know metal workers, and so they can copy these.
Yeah.
And we can import the puzzle that, maybe it came from somewhere far away.
Right.
But we can import the same idea to this place. And that's a lot of what this place is about, is cultural fusion of mixing ideas.
And these were all from thrift stores over probably 15 years. And they lived with my son and I for a long time. And he moved out, and I've accomplished all of them.
Really?
I'm a big puzzle person.
Really?
So I figured they needed to go somewhere else where somebody
Yep.
else needed to.
Well, I get creative, nice people through here, and so those will get used.
Yeah, when they get, need mental stimulation in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's
Wow.
all in this room. Not positive.
Right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And thank you to other people who donated, and thank you for your thrifting and bringing all this stuff down here. And this stuff will get used by people.
Yeah,
So,
eventually.
Eventually, once I have people here
I think
again.
this camera maybe even too. And this puzzle.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Great.
Thanks for having me.
Yar.
Yar.
Yar.